We have a fun co-main event this weekend for UFC 284. We have Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett for the interim featherweight title. This match is going to be super important as Alexander Volkanovski will face one of these guys once he is done fighting in the main event against Islam Makhachev for that lightweight title. So after that matchup, it's assumed that he's going to come back down to featherweight and take on the next challenger. And this is basically whoever wins this is going to be the next challenger, or maybe say Volkanovski somehow wins against Islam, he stays there. You can crown an easy champ here, but this is a very important matchup. Decides who's the next #1 contender for the division. So I'm going to be breaking this match down in depth. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We have Yair Rodriguez 15-3, Josh Emmett 18-2. Josh Emmett will be 8 years older than him, which is a pretty hefty year gap here between these two guys. I was actually surprised looking at it how young Yair Rodriguez is. He's actually, I believe, 30. It says Tapology is 30, but I guess I got that a little wrong. But this is obviously in the featherweight division. Yair Rodriguez will be 5 inches taller and will have a 1-inch reach advantage and a, let's see, 2-inch leg reach advantage. For the previous matchups, Yair Rodriguez has fought Brian Ortega most recently. He won by a shoulder injury from Brian Ortega, so he was looking really good in that matchup. Looked really good on the feet, looked really fast, was pretty much beating Brian Ortega pretty handily in that matchup, like swinging his head back with some pretty good punches. And then Brian Ortega eventually broke his, or what, I don't know what he did to his shoulder, but he got a shoulder injury trying to get out of a submission there on the ground with Yair Rodriguez. So it's a very unfortunate situation there. I kind of wanted to see them go for 5, or however long it would have been. But it was a very unfortunate situation there. He had a very impressive matchup against Max Holloway. Looked very good. Made it pretty competitive against Max Holloway. Max Holloway started going for takedowns in that matchup. So you can tell how competitive that match was. And then 2 years before that Max Holloway fight, he fought Jeremy Stephens and won by a decision. For Josh Emmett, his last matchup was against Calvin Kattar. It was a split decision win. I thought Calvin Kattar won that, and I think Dan Ige won against Josh Emmett. It was a pretty rough decisions. I guess you could somehow, I don't even know if you can argue for Emmett. I guess you can make an argument, but it seemed like, to me at least, it was a clear Kattar win, and I thought Ige won that fight also. So he's coming off a couple controversial wins, and then before that he did beat Shane Burgos by a decision. So for this one, I am going to go with Yair Rodriguez, but I'm going to say that Emmett does have a chance just due to his power in general. For Yair Rodriguez, I think he's just going to be faster, and I think he has more weapons on the feet. He got the kicks and obviously a punch. He just has better stand-up in general. He's just going to be faster. I'm not going to say he's going to be more powerful. Emmett definitely has the power here, but he's definitely got a lot more tools on the feet than Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett obviously has the power here. He kind of loads up a little bit. You can kind of tell, at least with that big knockout blow, he loads up pretty often, that you can see at least. So I'm guessing Yair Rodriguez is going to be able to detect when he's going to go for that big punch. And I think Yair Rodriguez is going to be able to keep a good range against Josh Emmett, which is why I think he's going to be able to detect when he's going to be trying to hit that cannon on Yair Rodriguez. So I think the range, I think he's going to be able to keep a good range. I think his length with his legs, I think he's going to be able to throw a lot of front kicks and a lot of like knees that will kind of scare Josh Emmett a little bit away. He's the smaller fighter, Josh Emmett is, so he's going to be a little bit closer. He's open up the middle, so he's going to be worried about that. So I think that's why for a guy like Yair Rodriguez, he's going to be able to get a good range and then do a lot more of what he wants to do on the feet there, because Emmett's going to be a little worried trying to come in and get hit right up the middle. For this one, I also think because of that range with the threatening of the up the middle and everything like that, I think it's going to be harder for Josh Emmett to close distance on a takedown. I think Yair Rodriguez is going to be able to circle around pretty well and be faster here. So I think it's going to be pretty hard for Josh Emmett to get a takedown. I think if he does try and get a takedown, I think he's definitely going to take quite a bit to try and get it. Like, I think Yair Rodriguez is going to be doing a lot of damage to him every single time he tries to get that takedown, because again, he looked super fast. Like, I can't really explain. Like, he looked really fast against Brian Ortega, faster than he did look against Holloway. So yeah, it kind of left that on my mind a little bit. Like, he looked really good against Brian Ortega before the obvious injury. My one worry for Yair Rodriguez is that he's kind of open on the feet a little bit. He does get hit quite a bit. So I am a little worried that it's not going to be like a Kattar situation where Kattar was able to just put up his hands and block some of the big, powerful punches from Josh Emmett in this one. So I am a little worried about that if Josh Emmett is able to close range, but Yair Rodriguez does have a good chin. So I'm not necessarily worried about him getting KO'd, but I'm just saying that there's a possibility there that maybe Josh Emmett does close the distance at some point and is able to land a pretty big, powerful shot on Yair Rodriguez in this one. But again, I just think Yair Rodriguez is going to be able to keep a really good range in this, be the faster guy on the feet. And I think he just has more tools, especially for keeping a good range against a guy like Emmett, who's a lot smaller, who's going to have a little bit of a reach disadvantage, but because of the height issue, he's going to have to be reaching up a little bit more. So Yair Rodriguez is definitely going to have the length here. He's going to keep a good range. He's going to be faster. He's going to be hitting Emmett a lot. He's going to be striking up the middle, and he's going to look really good doing it. So that's why I'm going to say probably, Calvin Kattar, probably Yair Rodriguez in like the 3rd or 4th round TKO. I'm going to say 3rd round TKO. I think he's going to be able to, in the 1st round, circle around. I think Emmett's going to be a little bit more patient. I think he's going to look for a couple big strikes, but I think Yair Rodriguez is going to be able to use a lot of his tools when Emmett's coming in. He's going to dodge it and then do a lot of teeps and kicks. So I think he's just basically going to outpoint him in that 1st round. I think they're kind of going to like sit around a little bit. I don't think Emmett's going to get too comfortable in that 1st round because of how dangerous Yair Rodriguez is. He's going to feint a lot of front kicks, especially in that 1st round, and I can see him keep doing that in the 2nd round. I think he catches Josh Emmett in that 3rd round and eventually takes him out in that 3rd round and finishes him off. So I think I'll say like front kick up the middle for Yair Rodriguez. I can see him like unloading a couple straights, circling around, and then hitting a nice front kick, and then throwing a couple high kicks and another front kick, and then just dropping Emmett, or at least hurting him. He rushes in and then just pounds away on him, and Emmett just goes out. Not out cold, but I think by TKO is a probably strong bet here. So I'm going to go Yair Rodriguez by 3rd round TKO in this one. I think Emmett is the older guy, so I don't know how necessarily durable he's going to be at this point at 37 years old. So I don't know how durable he's going to be. And I think Yair Rodriguez is just going to be faster. I think he has a really good shot at catching Josh Emmett here, especially with Josh Emmett's height, with the kicks and shooting up or kicking up the middle and everything like that. It won't be a Kattar situation. The only issue that I see for Yair Rodriguez is when Emmett does close the distance, him hitting a good power shot and Yair not protecting himself and being intelligent defensively like Kattar was, putting up his hands, because a lot of those shots against Kattar, it was like going off his hands. He's holding a really good guard there, so I don't see that for Yair. He kind of just moves his head a little bit more when guys throw shots, so he does get hit. But I am going to go Yair Rodriguez by 3rd round TKO. I think he eventually catches Josh Emmett up the middle and then wins by TKO. I can just see it's just one of those fights where Emmett just ends up just like catching him in like the 3rd or 4th round and him just winning. So I'm going to go Yair Rodriguez, but Emmett definitely has a chance, especially with that power in his hands. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can join my Tapology link down below and join the group. I believe we have 8 people in there. Tracks all your record, or I guess if you want to call it, your picks from the whole year, the year before, and all that. So if you want to join the group, go ahead and do that. Links down below, and let me know who you think is going to win this matchup. Should be a fun card. I can't wait to watch it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys next time.